Hello, hello. This is Pauline from Pauline Art Stuff, and I'm back with a special episode for the Flashback in Time. All my sketchbooks. That's what this one is called. All the sketchbooks. So I got 2 stacks of sketchbooks over here that I've used since, I don't know, 2020, 2019, something like that. I have no idea how old some of them are, but these are all the sketchbooks that I've used. I've only started using them as of like so many years, because before that I just used to draw on separate pieces of paper. So these are my rough sketchbooks, so my ideas are being made in that. Then this one that I got by Bailey J, as you can see, Bailey J, I use for finished art pieces mostly. Same with this one, only this one I made specially for my stitching, but I will still show you it. We're going to start with that one, and then we're going to slowly work our way through the rest of them. So let me get them out of the way, because we're going to start with this one, and then we will continue with this stack afterwards. So this one is also by Bailey J. As you can see, I made it my stitchy journal from July 2023 to August 2025, and it's also by Bailey J. And I stuck it together because I'm using alcohol markers. So what I did here is I made Disney drawings, and I made how many stitches I did for each day of the week, and then I written down my stats by the end of the month, and then I have my overview of the month, and that's what I started doing in this one. But I haven't even made all the months yet, so that's why I'm showing this one first, because this is all Disney stuff. So this was my way of keeping track of my stitchy stuff in a more, how do you say it, more creative way. So I did those, and then I didn't fill in the whole middle part, because I used to write it down in a little notebook, and I only started making these pages much later on. So this one was for February of last year, the Lion King page. So as you can see, I written down my stitchy numbers in the leaves. So yeah, and then this was the one for March, so this one has it in the clouds. So it's basically just a way of keeping track of my stitchy stats in a more creative way. So here it's on the blocks, you see what I mean? I just came up with different stuff. So here it's on the leaves again, on the snake, and on the on the tree. Yeah, I really do like it. Like, I did all of these with alcohol markers. But yeah, it was just a way to keep myself busy and to do it in a way that is not boring. Like her face completely wonky. But yeah, that's fine. And that's it. That's everything I've got for my stitchy journal. So that is everything that is in this lovely book. I never went back because I don't know. I just don't care. It's behind me, you know. It's not something I'm doing right now. If I would have done it in the moment, it would probably have been better. This is a watercolor sketchbook. As you can see, it's barely used. I literally got this for my birthday years ago, but I never really broke into it except for the first 2 pages. So it's a Strathmore sketchbook, quite small, and I used it to swatch my Van Gogh watercolor, or in Dutch Van Gogh watercolor. But they were really chalky and not nice to work with, so I don't recommend. And then I did 2 pages, which are these 2. So this one I did way more rough, and like I really dumped in the color like undiluted, so it's really messy. It was one of my very first times using watercolor, or at least this watercolor, and you can really tell because it's a mess. Look at that, it's just a mess. Look at the background, and it is a cute picture, but yeah, it's a mess. And then I tried doing something like Beauty and the Beast, but what is that? I gave up, I guess, because I just didn't like it, and that's all I did. So I've got all of these pages still to play with, but look how thick. See how thick? It's really thick watercolor paper with some texture. So yeah, I think I will just use this for maybe some practicing with watercolor, because it's a waste to leave it like that. And then I got my Inktober sketchbooks. So these are the sketchbooks that I used every year to do the Inktober challenge. and there's some hairs on it. So there's this artist challenge with ink that is held in October of every year. And it was first started by Jake Parker on YouTube. And he made it to improve his inking skills. So this was my first year, I believe, that I participated, which was 2020. So that's not that long ago. And I did all my swatches over here, as you can see, all the stuff that I had. So I had pit pens, I believe these are pit pens. These are the pit pens. What is this then? Alcohol markers, probably, I guess. Microline Sakura, fountain pen ink. Yeah, so those are ink and gel pens with glitter in them. So yeah, I used probably the red one here, but I'm used a mixture because as you can see in his ears, I used that one. So yeah, I literally just did the prompt, because you get a prompt for each day and then you have to make your own illustration for that prompt. But back then I didn't do my original drawings, I just did Disney stuff. So that's what I did for this whole sketchbook. So every day I made a Disney thing, but I also used some glitter gel pen, like accents, like on the wisps and on the ground a little bit. So yeah, that's what I like to do. So here you can see some of my sketches that I made for setting it up, like how close do I want her, do I want more an overview, and I decided to go this route. But yeah, they're pretty simple, as you can see. So this is the one, I had multiple options for this one. As you can see, this is more from Sleeping Beauty with the cake, you see? And I was like, maybe not, you know? So then I went for the Winnie the Pooh, and so I came up with that one in the end. So that's what I did for bulky. Then the radio from Atlantis. That's the woman from Atlantis. Then Merlin with the Arthur and the sword for Blade. So yeah, they're not all as intricate as it can be, but this one I did for rodents because of all the animals, and I did Snow White baking a cake for Grumpy. And then Fancy, I did Cinderella's dress. So yeah, I mainly used the ink as a watercolor, and then I went in with the pit pens to make those bold shadings in it afterwards, and then some gel pen on top with glitter or white. That's how I made all of these, as you can see. So it's a mixture of medium. So it's black ink, pink ink, and some pit pens on top, and gel pen. So yeah, teeth. Of course I needed Sebastian. Throw, Lilo, and Stitch. I still love it. I still love looking at these things. So Hope, I did Tiana from Princess and the Frog. Then Disgusting, because we all know what he did before he started brushing his teeth and his tongue. He bit his what is his name? He bit him in his balls. Let's say it like that. That's the to save Mulan from like being in the water with all those dudes. So yeah, that's why he's brushing his tongue. And Slippery, I did the eyes with Bambi. So yeah, I kept them pretty simple, but I used the same color scheme on this entire book, as you can see. So the June, I did Jafar. Then Outpost, I did Robin Hood with the towers and the soldiers. Rocket, again, Mushu from Mulan. Yeah, I just love this little fella. And look at Cricky. Storm with Maleficent. Trap, Sleeping Beauty with the needle. Dizzy, that one was really simple. Yeah, don't like that one. Nah, too bold. I really love this one. Coral. I think I got into the groove by this point. I was like, yeah, let's go for something more intricate. And then I did the same the next day for Sleep. But I really messed up her face, as you can see. But it still looks good. It's a bit messy, but I really enjoyed it. Then I did the Chef. I did Ratatouille. Of course I did. I really like how that came out. Then Rip. I did Lion King when his father dies. Such a sad scene. But I really like how it came out. Then Dig. I did Radcliffe from Pocahontas. And then Buddy. I did Frank. No, it's called differently. The Fox and the Hound. In Dutch it's Frank en Vrij. So that's their names, basically, in Dutch. But yeah, it's the Fox and the Hound. And then Hide, I did Robin Hood again. Yeah, I really like how this one came out as well. Like the style of the bold outlines and the shading, I really like. This one I like as well with music, with the little clams from Alice in Wonderland. Like, I love this scene. Like, there's just not enough of those little clams in the movie, in my opinion. I really like how I did that one. Then Float, I did Baloo with Mowgli. Just really simple, nothing special about that one. Then Shoes, I did Cinderella with the little shoe from the ball. And then I'm missing one. Where's number 30? Didn't I do number 30? I forgot number 30 apparently. So I went to 31. Oh, I named it different. I marked, oh, I see what I did. This is number 30. So this is Ominous, and I did Ursula. So this is supposed to be day 30, and then this is 31, Crawl. So I did Alice crawling into the hole. But yeah, I did not have enough pages because this is the back of the sketchbook. But it fits, doesn't it? So yeah, I used every single page in this sketchbook to do my Inktober for 2020. So that's everything for that sketchbook. And then the year after, I got a special sketchbook, especially for it. Like the elastic is completely dead. See? Dead. It's completely dead. And I got this paint on sketchbook. And the paper is really nice in here. Like, look how thick. Like carton thick. Like really thick. So I really like this paper. I now also own a block of this paper in this same color, but also in white. And as you can see, again, the prompt list. So this time I've written it down at the beginning of the sketchbook. So this is the prompts for every single day. So again, I did Disney. Only this time I wanted to do it in a different style. So I made it double spreads. And I used all kinds of colors. But as you can see, there's some damage here because it probably stuck together. So yeah, it's a bit damaged. But yeah, day 1 was Crystal. So I chose the Frozen Castle from Elsa. Then day 2 was Suit. So I did this Beauty and the Beast. It was a lot of work doing those windows. It took me forever that day. Then on day 3 I did Vessel. I did The Little Mermaid. With the little froggies and Sebastian. Yeah. I chose a different color ink for every single day. So day 4 was Not. So I did Tiger Lily with Captain Hook. Day 5 was Raven. So I did Maleficent with her raven. I really like this one. Perfect color choices. Then day 6, Spirit. I did a Genie. Losing his shackles. Day 7 is Fan. So I did Mulan. Really nice and simple. Yeah, I did miss some days, as you can see. So I did the sketches earlier. And I like did the ink at the day. But I did not get around to watch. So this is like the bunny from Alice in Wonderland. With a watch. Then on day 9, it was Pressure. So I did Hercules. Yeah, really funny. Then day 10 was Pick. So I did the dwarfs from Snow White. Then day 11 was Sour. And I chose the Queen from Alice in Wonderland with the cards and the maze behind it. That they are painting like the flowers. But yeah, I did not get around to inking it, as you can see. Same with day 12, Stuck. So I did Winnie the Pooh, stuck in his hole. So yeah, I just kept it the way they are. Because if I don't do it, then I just didn't do it. That's how I went about it back then. Then day 13 was Roof. So I did the Aristocats. Really dark, this one. But I still like it. Day 14 was Tick. So he has this checklist on his little notebook. So that's how I found this one from Mrs. Jumbo. She got a delivery. And then day 15 was Helmet. And of course I could not let this one pass by because it's just too perfect from Robin Hood. And then day 16 was Compass. Of course I needed Pocahontas. So I really love how that one came out. Like as you can see, I forgot to paint in that leaf. But I guess I didn't want it because it was too in your face. I guess that's why I skipped it. Day 17 is Collide. So of course I needed to do the Sleeping Beauty dress with pink and blue. Day 18 is the Moon. So I did Peter Pan with Tinkerbell. Yeah, look at that face. What the heck was I doing? That is ugly AF. Day 19, Loop. You see? He doesn't even know how to use it. Yeah, love it. Day 20 is Sprout. So this is supposed to be Wally. So this is Wally, his eyes, shoe with a little plant. And this is Eve. But yeah, it's really sketchy. So I don't even know if you can tell. But yeah, that one I also did not get around. Day 21 is Fuzzy. So I did the Beast getting a bath. That's really fuzzy indeed. Yeah, just nice and simple. Day 22 is Open. So I did Alice peeking through the hole from the little door. So yeah, as you can see, I don't have every day done because even back then I had good days and bad days. So I did not end up making all of them. So day 23 was Leak. I really love this scene as well with those little mousies, Gus. Little Gus, yes. Then Extinct. I did Raya and the Last Dragon. Because why not, you know? Then day 25 is Splat. So I did the popping lava in the Cave of Wonders. Not my best work, but it's another one done. And then Connect on day 26 with Tarzan. I really like this scene in Tarzan. So I did that one. Then for day 27, I did Spark. And right when I was done, I let a ink drop fall right on her face. So look, if you see her face, you can see this faint black gray look behind it. That's because I dropped a giant, enormous drop of black ink right on her face while I was done. So I had to go back in with the colors and try to fix it. And I think I did wonderful because I really like it now. Day 28, I did Crispy. So this is Timon from Timon and Pumbaa with all the bugs. You see all the bugs? Don't know if you can see them, but yeah, basically that's was supposed to be Timon with all the bugs, the crispy bugs. And then day 29, I was Patch. So I did the 101 Dalmatians with the TV scene. Really adorable. Then day 30 was Slither with the snake from Ka from Jungle Book. Yeah, they're pretty simple drawings, as you can see. Day 31 was Risk. So I did Dumbo with the little feather and the birds trying to push him off. And then the end, I didn't even finish, as you can see. And that's it. So that is that sketchbook done for Inktober. I did participate for quite some years. So the next book that I made for my Inktober is this one. It's also a Bailey J sketchbook, as you can see. So this one was from 2022 all the way up till even later than 2024. I don't know how many. So this is 2022. So I colored this after the fact. So I made only line work at the time that I made this. But as you can see, I colored this. And the reason I did it this way, so I can stick it together. So I can flip it like this. So I also colored this one. But yeah, you see? So I always skip a double page like this. You see? So that's how I did it. So I did not make one for every day, but I did one every so many days. So I did this on the 9th, that on the 11th. So this time I made my original art. So no Disney for this one. So now I will skip pages so you can only see my drawings. So this one you can find as a coloring book on my Ko-Fi shop. Like, it's not the most perfect because of course I already had color on some of them. So yeah, I tried my best to make it into coloring sheets for you guys. So you can find it on my Ko-Fi link that is in the description. So all of these are in there. So you could color them for yourself. So as you can see, I did not do one every single day, but I did a lot of days. The 27th and the 28th, 29th and the 31st. So that was that one done for that year. So that was 2022. And then in 2023, I did a different style. So as you can see, I did a way darker, more watery color, inky style. So this one was for day 1 till day 4. Again, original art pieces. And again, I skipped 2 pages every time to make the next one. So this one was for day 5 to day 7. Like, the perspective is a bit off in this one. Because, yeah, I just didn't really work it out before I started inking. So I made a mess a bit in the background with the garden. But it's okay. At least the foreground looks really good with the cat and the girl, which I like. So, did I skip one? No. Okay. So then I did this cooking scene. which is also turned out really dark. I regret putting him in front of the fireplace because therefore you don't see him as much. Like, it would have been better if they switched places, but then the composition doesn't make sense anymore. And I really like the ghost. So they're making pumpkin cookies, apparently, or something like it. Then this one was a really simple one that I still wanted to make, even though it was a simple one. And then I did this one, Fortune Kitty, Come See Your Future. I really like this one. I just love it. And I think I only did, no, that was it. I stopped early that year because that was the year that I lost my cat in October. So that's when I just stopped. I just completely stopped because I had 4 more sketches for that year, never finished them. So then I went on with 2024. So I did again a different style. And instead of doing the girl, I did little mousies and little animals. So for the 3rd of October, I did this one. I really like it. But yeah, the ink in the background is a colored ink, but it's really shiny, as you can see. It shines and I hate it. It's the same ink as I used in a previous year, only this time the ink wasn't behaving the same way. So I think it gone bad or something. So yeah, it just felt like it was gone to hell. And yeah, the same with these ones. But as you can see, I made little mousies for this year. And this one I also made into a coloring book. But they were hard to make into coloring pages because I already added the color on them and the shading. But yeah, you can see how ugly that ink went down. So I tossed it out after this year because it had gone bad. So yeah, that's a thing that I did not know. And then this one I did actually with alcohol markers instead on the background. So I did ink and then alcohol marker for the color in the background and the shading parts. So yeah, that's a little bit different, but I really like this one. And then is that also a different year? So yeah, this is already the next year because this was no, it's the same year. Did I do 2 different styles in that year? Apparently so. I guess so. I went on with alcohol marks, probably because I hated the ink so much. That's probably why. So all of these are also coloring pages in the same file probably. So yeah, they're really cute. And then this year, or last year I should say, because we're now 2026, I did a few of them. So I did actually try to participate, but this time I went for more illustration-like pictures instead of with the black and white shading. So I did this one, so I'm really happy with that one. But the top of the jar is completely off to the side. It should be way more scooted to the left. So I don't like that. Every time I see him, like, And yeah, I splotched some ink there, so I just made it look like it was supposed to be there. And I wanted to swatch my new colors on these ones, but I never did that. And then I made these 2 later in the month, and that's it, I guess. See, everything else is still empty. So I only did 3 pages for last year's Inktober. And I'm not sure if I will do it again this year because I got a few pages left, as you can see in this one. So yeah, this is already a few years of Inktober, as you can see. It's filling up nicely, but not yet done. So that's everything for my Inktober sketchbooks. And then I've got another sketchbook that I mainly used for Mermaid, which is also an artist challenge, but then in May for making mermaids. But I never done it in the way it's intended because it's intended as a daily challenge, just like Inktober, but I never used it in that way. But I also got some normal other illustrations in this one. So yeah, I've got some lovely stickers. These are from Alison Alida here on YouTube. Like that one is the one that I was in love with when I started doing mermaid, and one of my inspirations for my little what do you call them, seahorses. So yeah, that's why I stuck it in here because it's supposed to be here. So these are the swatches for the Copic chow that I had back then and other stuff. So yeah, this is just an original from January of 2022 that I just made. So it has nothing to do with mermaid, just something that I made. And then we get into Mermaid 2022. So this was the first one that I did. So yeah, these are full colored pages, but I did make them into coloring pages as good as I could. So they're also as a PDF file on my Ko-Fi. So yeah, this is all from 2022. So this is all my own art. It's pretty simple, but yeah, I really enjoy it. This one I based off of that scene in Peter Pan where they see the fairies in one of the real life Peter Pans. That's what I loved about it. So I was like, I want something similar, but then with mermaids. So what did I do? I made them into jellyfish. So this one is actually the picture on my my thumbnail. So that one was also made that year. And then we get the little seahorses that were based on those, on that sticker. That one. That's why I want to make seahorses. Only I made them like in my own style, basically. So this is my style. Nice and chunky, you know? Really cute. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. This one was a color in my style challenge, but I messed up so bad on the face. Look at that. Yup. But yeah, I did it anyway. And then I made this one the next year in 2023. I did not really like the combination of that pink and that pink. I should have gone for a darker pink on that side, but it's done. But this one I did with alcohol markers and then pencils on top for the lines and some shading. So it's a mix between alcohol markers and pencil. Same with this one. Also from the same year, 2023. But yeah, not all of them were as great. Like this one I actually used some paint on top. But it also bled through quite a lot, as you can see, because of the alcohol markers. But yeah. This is what I used to do for mermaid. And then again, I did not finish one. So this is what it looks like when it's still unfinished, no pencil line. Like you only see the sketchiness underneath and then some alcohol basing, and that was it. Then I stopped. But yeah, this was supposed to be an Easter page with mermaids. But yeah, it's pretty wonky. Look at those arms and so on. Yeah, not my best one, but it's okay. So then I skipped the year, I think, because this was 2023. Yes, so I skipped the whole year. And then last year, in 2025, I finished up this one because this was actually a sketch from that year that I never got around to coloring. So that's why it's behind this one. And then I got some new Ohuhu markers that I was trying to figure out an order that I liked, as you can see. And then we continue with 2025. So this one was also from last year. And I regret putting the shiny watercolor on the hair. It looks hideous. But I do really like the drawing by itself. So yeah, this one was from last year. As you can see, these are way more like refined than the years before. So I really enjoy this. So this one was also from that same year. Also last year. I really like the freckles on that one. Really cute. And then I've got some sketches that I never finished. So I might finish those this year for mermaid. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, as you can see, I've got just some basic line work, basically, when I start out. And the same with this one with some platypus. And this one, where he's making music on a rock. But I don't know what I want in the background, so I never finished this sketch. And then I had one with a girl that I wanted on the beach with maybe some animals around, like crabs or stuff like that, but never finished that one either. And then this one was supposed to be a girl in front of an aquarium with fish all around her, but also didn't finish it. So yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawings that I still need to finish. So I might do those this year instead. But yeah, that's how they start out. And yeah, then afterwards I'm going back in with alcohol markers and pencil. But as you can see, I placed washi tape on all of them. And they're all different washi tapes. So that's what I like to do on the side of my sketchbook. Like you can see them all around, see? All different washies. And I got those for free with my diamond painting. So I literally have got all of them on the side of my sketchbook because I just enjoy doing that. So that gives it a little bit extra charm. So those are all the finished pages sketchbooks. And I've got one more that falls in that same category, which is this ginormous one. It's an A4 size. But I only made one drawing in it so far. So this is my new one after I finish that one. But I think the one that I just showed you I will keep for mermaid, and then I will just continue in this one. So yeah, this one I started in August of last year. As you can see, I placed Bailey J stickers in there, and I only made one drawing so far. So this is actually an Archer and Olive bullet journal, but with blank pages. So as you can see, I skipped one and then I started making my own drawing. So this is the only one that I made, and it's a bit different than what I've done before, as you can see, because it is still alcohol marker and then pencils on top, but it's a lot lighter and much more pastel-y. Like, I already like my pastels, but yeah, it's again an original drawing. So as you can see, I did that on the 4th of August. But every time I make one, I will skip a page. So this one will be skipped, so I can stick them together once it's done. But I wanted this one so I could also make bigger illustrations like this one. But yeah, this is the only one that I made so far, and that was of August last year. So I have not made anything else after that point. So this was the last one that I did for my original art. I did do some sketching. So let's go to my rough sketchbook. So these are all the ones that have completed pages in them. And then I've got 2 of the same sketchbooks by Ohuhu. So they're pretty thick. That are my rough sketches, basically, where I put in my ideas and swatches and tests and color schemes of what I would like to use. So what I usually do at the beginning of the book is swatch out my colors, as you can see. The Copic Chow 180 colors. So there they are. And then I still did fan art, as you can see. So this one was in January of 2021. So yeah, that's about the time that Raya and the Lost Dragon came out. So I made this one with alcohol markers and some micron pen for the lines. So yeah, that's when I still did Disney coloring as well. But that's also around the time that I did my original stuff myself. So I've not shown you those mermaid sketches for which came from these sketches, because I gave them away to my friend. But yeah, this is basically the first version of my little seahorse, which was hideous. That's an axolotl. They're really cute. I should revisit that one, actually. I really like it. So I might make an axolotl page this year. I really like it. So yeah, everything that I liked, I made with the pink outlining. So I knew which one I liked. So I also made these sketches for that same year. So that was for 2021 for Mermaid. Then I made this one in 2021. More sketches for my mermaid. With also some color compositions, as you can see. That's how I like to do it. And for black and white. So that's what I did. More sketches for mermaid that I've never made. So I like to maybe revisit them for next year's mermaids and so on and so forth. But I might do them throughout the year instead of just with mermaid. So again, Raya and the Lost Dragon, because yeah, that was the movie at the time. And I really like how I did the hair of the dragon. What's her name again? I don't know. Shisu or something. And yeah, more sketches for mermaid. And also a cat sketch. And more mermaid sketches with color schemes that I might like, as you can see. So this is just me experimenting with ideas and colors. Also over here. So yeah, I was just like making sketches. Like this one was actually the basis for one of the mermaid drawings that I made last year. So I split it up. It was originally in one picture, and I made that one with the little thing behind him. I made that with 2 little kids, and those ones, like, I split it up like this in 2 pictures because it didn't work together. And again, another Raya picture, of course. 2021. This one was for a stitching project in which I did not like the crown on the head of the woman, so I designed my own, and that's what I came up with. That's the pattern that I made in the end. This was supposed to be a cottage with pumpkins in the front, and like maybe like a witch story, you know, with a farmland in front of it with a veggie garden. This was supposed to be a Raya and the Lost Dragon as well, but I never finished it. It was really rough sketch. More mermaid sketches. So they were all 2021. I also made these glass and lead. Is that how you call it? LED windows, gloss and LED windows, yes. I made the Snow White castle. Like, I made pictures from the windows inside the Princess Pavilion, I think it's called, in Paris. And they've got these windows while you're waiting in line to go on a picture with the princess. And there are glass and lead windows behind glass, and I based them on that to make these illustrations. So they come throughout my journal, basically. So yeah, this was one as well for that mermaid for 2021. So I made the same mermaid with different colors, as you can see. And I ended up with the brown one. But yeah, I gave that, and those drawings that I made for that year, I gave them away to my friend. So that one I also made last year, as you can see. That one is also made in 2024. So I still got some that I haven't made just yet. Like, I've made that one as also a gift for my friend. And again, other iterations of my seahorses. So that is also one of the sketches that I made. That one was based on Ariel, but I thought it looked way too much to like Ariel. That one I could revisit. I made this one into a drawing. That one as well, but that was a different version of what I ended up with. This one is way more static, and the one that I made, he's floating instead. So yeah, that was again for that Stitchy project, because it was supposed to be an Ursula basically with tentacles, and I didn't like it, so I made it into a dress instead of like that. I made it in more of a dress. So that's what I did. And again, another glass and lead window from Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty. So yeah, they're literally just spread around in the journal, in the sketchbook, as you can see. So this one was also one of the sketches for that same year of Mermaid that I also gave away to my friend. So they're gone. I will pop in some pictures on the screen. So yeah, that is how it came out, my Stitchy project in the end. That's also the colors that I used in the end. So I changed it up. I also made the border different because there was no name on the bottom. There were some ugly corner elements in the top. So I changed that up as well. So I just redesigned it, basically. And these were the color combinations that I tried out for that illustration that I will place on the screen right here. And that one I also never made. So that one I could revisit as well for Inktober stuff. So yeah, that one I also really like the sketch of. And also that one in a flower field with a cat. And one with a dragon. I really like that as well. That was also a color composition for one of my drawings that I did. That I gave away. I will place them on the screen if I talk about it. And then, this was also in May of 2021, I made sketches from my favorite draglings. Because I wanted to make my own piece of draglings, in which they were diamond painting. So as you can see, I made all these sketches. So this is the idea that I came up with. But this is not the eventual picture that I made. That one I showed you in the Draw with Spangler video. So I will link that up in the eye over here, in case you wanted to see that one, because there's a lot more to see from Randall Spangler over there. And then we go into my Inktober ideas from back in 2021. So yeah, I went for all kinds of styles, also hairstyles. And yeah, I just preferred some over others, as you can see. This is Thumbelina. I made a Thumbelina picture. I will pop that in as well. The finished piece, if I can find it, that is. And this was an idea for a little storybook that I was want to make with all the chapters that I wanted, but I never went on with it. This was supposed to be fan art for what's that series on Netflix with the girl with the light power, with the dark clouds, you know, where you can't pass through or else you die. Shadow and Stone, Shadow and Bones, something like that. And again, another castle in glass and lead. This one is also one of an original Disney that I made. And this was the idea for it. So I started out with a pen sketch and then 2 color sketches. And I made that for a friend of mine, of which I bought some Stitchy bags. So she got that as a present. And then I had an idea of doing a Sleeping Beauty piece, but I never got around to it, as you can see. Those were just ideas. This was an idea for Draw This in Your Style by Ima Wonder, in which you have those 2 girls, the sun and the moon, I believe it is. But I just couldn't find a position in which I liked them together. Like I made that one into this one, but I never really liked it, so I stopped. I never made it. This one was for Inktober. These were the ideas that I came up with for the Disney movies. And these are the sketches that I made beforehand. So this is how my ideas looked like for that sketchbook that you saw earlier. These were the PH Martin India ink. So don't buy those, people, because within 2 or 3 years, they're game over. They're dead. Because the pigment got all weird after that. Because here it looks much different than when I used it later. So yeah, here are also some sketches for that same year. And then we go back to original stuff. So I made that one into a illustration, but those ones I did not. This was based on Thumbelina, so I might revisit those two as well. This is sketching like butterflies or something with sunlight. I don't know yet. Like, don't know if I want to make something out of it. That one was just something with rain, with leaves above her head. I don't know if I liked it. But here she's holding it more like a kind of a umbrella thing. And again, a Disney castle. This was the color mock-up for that illustration. So yeah, that's basically how my entire sketchbook looks like. And then we got more mermaids. So we get a dancing hula hula mermaid. Hugging mermaids. So this is the final position that I used for the little boy playing the piano. And that was the one where she's doing her hair. So yeah, some of them, like, see? This is how it develops. But those sketches are so rough, as you can see. But it's just to figure out colors, basically. So it doesn't matter that it looks hideous. It's all about the color combinations. So yeah, that's why I've got multiple for some with the colors that I used. And then I did again Mermaid with Stitch Mania apparently in that year, 2022. So I got my whole list of stuff apparently. That was for a Stitchy project. Yeah, so this is what I've done that year. So this is the mock-up for that picture, which colors I wanted. And then we get more girly sketches for Inktober, I guess. Yes, we get more Inktober sketches. So I also had a Dragula idea, as you can see. I think I made that one. Not sure actually, but I think I made that one. But yeah, there's a lot more ideas that I never made. Like those ones that they are hanging upside down. With her with the cat on top of her. This was that drawing your style thing, but that picture, this drawing looks way better than the final product, as you can see. But yeah, it was from Doll Etoile, Draw This in Your Style, as you can see. See? That's how I didn't remember from who it was, but it was from her. I love that artist. And yeah, more Inktober sketches. So a lot of these have made it into line works, but also a lot did not. So this is what it starts out when I'm trying to make illustrations. I'm just making all these random scribbles and I put check marks with the ones that I like, that I will make into something. So as you can see, I've got several that I've already used. And more cats, of course, in all kinds of positions. So that's what it looks like when I'm just brainstorming. I just make random poses all over the page. Like you see, even on top of each other. It doesn't really matter. As long as I got the idea, I'm good. So yeah, I also did not go through with that idea because I just didn't like it. And this is when I came up with the colors for that page. The hello, welcome to my sketchbook page that you've seen earlier. Again, one with bats with her sitting in the tree. That one I did actually make. Yeah, where he's reading the book. And this one I also made. But the spider is much bigger in the final one. And then we go back to Mermaid. I guess I only did Mermaid Inktober. Mermaid Inktober. So yeah, this is where I made all the fishy drawings. Like, I also really like them hugging like this. Never used that one either. That was the one that I used for the aquarium one that I never finished. So I could revisit that one. That's one that they're painting Easter eggs. That could be a good one to do as well. With the frog getting the basket with eggs. Yeah, I still like this. That one I did use. But I can use that one. Yeah, so some of these I've used already. And others have not become a picture at all. They were just ideas, never used. Same with these ones. All ideas, but never used. Look at that little one. So cute. That one I used for Mermaid. But yeah, I really would like to use that one. and that one. Like that one is also the mermaid one, you see? But I really like this one, and this one. So I might want to use them for my big sketchbook. Make it into a bigger spread, like nice Easter egg pages. Because this I did in 2023. Yeah, and again, what the hell? That head is way too big. But yeah, that's the idea that I had for painting Easter eggs. And then this little ducky come out. And this I did for Draw with Spangler, which you can also see in that video that I just linked for the Randall Spangler stuff. There I also show you that, because that's he gave us lessons of how to draw his stuff. So here again, color schemes for stuff that I might want to use, combinations. So that's how I figure out what I would like to do. And then we get my bunny era. I love that one. Laying in the grass with the flower. This is the snow angel. Love it. Stargazing. Love it. The snowball fight, or the Christmas stuff. Yeah, I really like the snowball fight still. Like, look at him having one in his face. I still want to make that into something. And here I made a drawing with a airship. But at first I had sails, like Peter Pan. And then I gave it more like a balloon form. And I had multiple iterations, as you can see. But I ended up more like something like this. And I also finished that one. I will see if I can add it in up here, if I've got a picture of it. Like this is also from that same illustration. This is actually the sketch that I made this sketch myself. But I got in the sketch from Randall Spangler for my original piece. And I drew in some stuff myself to make it clear what I wanted. So I made a chest with clothes, like I said, old chest with clothing, and then maybe Disney books or fairy tale books or something like that. That's what I said. So I gave him ideas. So Lego, Barbie. The Barbie ended up in between the books, and the Legos were all around. And he added in some pencils as well, because of like what I written down, what I liked. As you can see, I had pencils as well. So yeah, that's how he used my ideas in the final result. So I think that was really helpful for him. So yeah, that's what I did back then. Ideas for Halloween. This was the design that I made for a embroidery project for Beauty and the Beast that I never finished. But I will pop a picture in here of how far I've gotten. But I stopped working on it because it became too harsh on my hands. And then we go back to Inktober sketches, and I've got some really funny ones, like this one where she broke her broomstick in half. I really like it, so I never used that one. Like that one, I had an idea for that she's running away from ghosts. And one in a tiger costume, I also really like that one. The little cat with the witch hat on. And that one I used, because this one I combined with that one in the hallway. And here again, she's crying because her broomstick got broken down. It's basically the same as that, but then different. Really dramatic. But yeah, these are all sketches of how I get to the final illustration. So as you can see, I made this sketch and that sketch. The gravestone sketch. More positions that I might want to use. So that's what it starts like. I really like that one. Never made it. That one was the one that I used for that really simple one that they were in the air. Like another Dracula cat, of course. My fortune kitty. This was also Dracula. So yeah, I made several ones that I never made into a drawing at all. And then we came to Mr. Dracula himself. So I came up with this idea in 2023 apparently. And I made a picture of this one last year for Inktober, like a really big drawing with all kinds of cats, which we will see in the next sketchbook. So this is everything up till 2023 from 2021. So that's already quite a lot. And then when we go into the new one, which is not full yet, as you can see, it's halfway, over half. We went on with more Inktober sketches. So this is what I made after that as a base for like what I wanted to make. And I finished up till this one. As you can see, I had more sketches. So I had that one and those two and that one. But I never made them because my cat died. So yeah, that's how it developed. This was for my embroidery project again. Never made it. And then again, bunnies for an Easter drawing. That they're like on an Easter hunt with eggs in the trees and everywhere. So yeah, I never made that one either. But I did do a lot of sketches. Like, see, he's inside the tree and they're trying to get into the tree. They're running around with cards and like a catching blanket. He's tossing the egg into it. You can barely see it because of the color behind it, but that's what it is. And this is like a color scheme that I came up with that I might want to use, and some different ones. And this is for the hills. And was the idea for the bunny, of how I wanted to color them. I really still like it, but I never gotten around to actually making the drawing itself. So here I got the Derwent Chroma Flow. Oh no, that's my sister's pencils. She got the Derwent Chroma Flow 100, and I swatched them out to know which ones exist. So I got 3 of them that I liked. I've got a few more now, but those were the colors that I picked out to buy. But the other ones I never bought. And then again, some stitchy stuff that I never made. And then we go back to Inktober sketches. So this is when I went into the cute animal drawings stuff. So I made this one in a different format. I never made that one, never made that one. I really like this one. I also like this one with the cat is on the pumpkin with other mouses around. The cat, a mouse with the other mouses around it. Like a midnight session or something. Like here they are all sleeping animals. Really like them. Little Bambi with a mouse. Really cute, but not everything made it. Like that one made it. That one made it. That one did not. So yeah, this is how it starts out basically when I'm doing these kind of prompts. Like if I've got an idea, you will see it and I will name it as well. So yeah, I had multiple ideas for this year, as you can see, or for that year that I did it. But yeah, I mixed up certain things. Like these ones I made, but that one I combined with the sketch earlier on. Like you see, that's where that one arose, 2 pages, combining them. And I also made other animals, as you can see. And this was the beginning of this one. So this one was made in 2023, I believe. And then in 2024, I came back to that idea and made it into this one. So that's what I like to do. So this were idea for like outside ideas for like borders. And this was the start of the Dracula cat again. So he came back. And there we go. We're gonna go for Dracula's feast. So I drew all kinds of cats to see what I liked. And the ones with the blue and purple backgrounds, those were the ones I liked. And then, of course, they also needed outfits. So that's what I was doing over here. That was in 2024, apparently. And then I had my ideas for my Stitchy journal. Not interesting. More swatches. These are the Ohuhu Halawa pencils. More Copics, as you can see. Way more Copics. So I had so many more that I had to re-swatch all of it and rearrange them in the order I like. So those are all of these. Let's go on. And then I was designing something, I guess. Testing out ink. This was the De La Rowney Sepia ink. It's hideous. That's the Molotov Black. That's really nice and flat. This one has a texture. Well, this one does not. You can hear it. And then I've got some lists of ideas that I would like to draw. And this is where I made the sketches for that one with the duckies, as you can see. So I made all kinds of positions. So it started out with just a normal girl hopping around with a basket. 2 girls hopping around, running around. And in the end I came with ballerina poses on this one because I wasn't happy with this. So I made more of a ballerina with all the little ducky sketches. And then I made more little duckies. And I ended up with those 2 that I liked. So that's what I went with. And then the mermaid sketches from previous sketchbook, I came back to them and made them again. And defined them a little bit more. So that's where you can see this. But this one never made it. That one is the boy that went on the rock. That one made it, but much bigger. So yeah, this is how it begins. And I just sometimes combine them. Like, see, there they are again. There's that one again, but then in mermaid form. So that's how it starts out, basically. And then I went to test all the pencils, basically. I bought a little bit of every open stock pencils that I could get. And I tested them out of what I felt about it. So I written also down how it feels like. But you can't read that because it's all in Dutch. So the Pro color was scratchy and hard. The Gold Faber was soft. The Faber-Castell Black is soft but hard at the same time. Pablo's were sturdy but soft, but a bit chalky. Luminance was soft and dry. Derwent Lightfast was soft, crummy and muted. Lyra Rembrandt Polycolor was soft and dry. Ohu, scratchy, but not the best. Holbein, really soft, but feels a lot like Polychromos, but then with a stickiness to it. The Chroma Flow was really soft and creamy. I really was impressed by that one. Then the Prismacolor, really soft and creamy, but different than the Chroma Flow. I prefer the Chroma Flow over the Prismacolor feeling. And then the Color Soft from Derwent were crumbly and soft. But I think I also had a bad pencil because that one felt like sandpaper. Like that's how it called it. It just didn't work at all. And then I got my Polychromos and I got the pastels from the Faber-Castell Black Edition and the Caran d'Ache Pablos. They feel almost similar to Polychromos, but more scratchy. Like they're similar but more scratchy. So I would not recommend those. And then we go back to the Dracula Feast. And these were ideas for the building. So as you can see, I was drawing all kinds of windows and paintings. And then I came up with cats with clothing on. So as you can see, I just made all kinds of stuff. Also furniture, chandeliers, cat faces, dresses, more cat faces. These are more realistic faces, but I did not really like it. So I went back to the cartoony style. I drew cute little mousies. They've developed as well over the years. A cute little cat. Little one, little mousies everywhere on this page. I still love my mousies. They come back. And then the main idea came. So this is where it went serious. So I picked the cats that I liked. I picked the chandelier with the mousies, more cats, and then Cat Dracula made it into the picture. And I came up with the setting of the page roughly. But yeah, it's all fumbled around on the page everywhere. So I made a scan and I stuck it down on a paper to make the end result. And then this was for October of last year. So this is where I came back to that sketch again. And this is what I drew first. And then I came up with that idea and those. And as you can see, I wanted maybe more portraits of the other cats as well. But I was like, nah, I don't like it. So I never went through with it. And then I also had an idea with a swinging chandelier with the mousies on it. But I never went through with it. Maybe a gallery with portraits of the cats instead. Also didn't go through with it. And then in October of last year, I came up with some squirrely sketches. And I still want to make this as well as an illustration. But it's more of a wintry / spring kind of illustration. Because there's like nuts or acorns on the tree as decoration. And they're like trying to get the squirrel, the nuts into their house, basically. That's what I came up with. And I wanted the snow, oh my god, I've got a problem remembering it again. Yeah, I'll put it on the screen. Oh, snow bells, I don't know what they're called. And those flowers, the white ones that grow out of the snow in the early spring. I wanted them on the foreground, so you've got a little bit of snow and then it goes into the grass and maybe some water in the background. I don't know yet, but I thought about it of Christmas decorations, but I went with the nuts instead, the acorns. And these were all kinds of positions that I came up with. And then I went a step further. I was like, okay, let's add in the mousies and the squirrels together and give them outfits. So yeah, I came up with this combination, like them gifting the acorns so they can put it up in the tree. But yeah, I don't know what I feel about it. And that's everything that I made so far. So as you can see, I still got a lot of pages left. So yeah, that is everything that I've done in Sketchbooks. So that's everything that I will show you today. And I also found my corners that they were lost for the longest time for my journal, for my Happy Planner journal, and I found them in one of the sketchbooks. So I found them again, so that's a win. But yeah, this is everything that I've got for today's Flashback in Time. That is all about my sketchbooks. So yeah, I hope to see you for the next one, in which I might show you maybe some older drawings even, and some more realistic ones perhaps. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next one, bye bye!